see red dots
Yeah.
on the top. Alright, this is the second one I was talking about. The first horse name, by the way, was Skeeter. This there's Bandit. A lot of things, you know, that's real noticeable. All these white hairs on this black horse. And right here, right there, that's probably more likely a D-ring of the saddle. And if I had it down here, and I don't even know where it went. Oh, I think it got put up. But if I went and got the saddle, one I got in the barn, I bet you if I throw that Charles saddle on this horse, the marks would be right there. Because this is from the D-ring of the saddle, and this is from where the saddle was too far down. So we got that going on. The same thing. Good boy. Right there. And basically they had too narrow saddle on them. All they needed to do was, like I said, quit buying the cheap saddles and get a decent saddle, and you wouldn't have as much problems that fit horses. And also, when he had shoes on him when he came in, and I noticed it doesn't pick up on the camera, but on his back pasterns there, he's got rope burns on both of them. So his hind feet were a little long versus his front. So I'm thinking, first thing came across my mind when I saw that, he was a bad kicker and somebody was tying his feet up to put shoes on him. Well, actually that wasn't the case. When I picked up his hind feet, I saw he had sliders. And he came from low-end auction, and I want to just, I talk straight from the hip. So and the type of saddle marks where they're at, I can almost guarantee a Mexican owned him, and they're using a makeshift running or flying W, whichever you want to call it, to make him sit down and slide and stop. And what they'll do a lot of times, they'll rig it up and they'll have somebody ride him, they'll say whoa, and if that horse don't whoa, they'll jerk them hind feet under him. And the Mexican saddles, a lot of them are built for Mexican horses that are half skinny. And there's too many good ways of doing things without having to do that to a horse. So like I said, I'm just going to act like he's, number one, we know he's already had a saddle on him.
No, they just walked him in. It was $130.
He's just like that gray, that rosy gray. I really like his temperament. He's really quiet. In the quarantine round pen we got up there, he's the first, between him and the gray, he's the first one up to you. He's a nice looking coat, but damn it, he's going to make a darn nice looking gelding, because he will be gelded. This too, especially because I've known there was a guy in Illinois, what he would do, have some people on top of a real small round pen, just big enough for the horse to sit in, and he'd have people sit on the edge with ball bats and hit them along the neck while he's asking to spin. So he'd bring horses in the sale barn that spin like a top, but they didn't know how to go forward. So people would buy the horse and thinking they were getting a nice reining horse, when in reality they were getting nothing. A horse that's been thumped on. Oh, he's got a Bravey neck up here. You'd be surprised how wide that neck is. I'm just going to sit up here for a second. I'm not going to take nothing for granted. I'm just going to check his mouth one way, check it the other, Oh. Yep. Now, one thing I can see right off the bat, horse gets pretty good at the bit. And here, these people, whoever train, right now I can tell, you know, here they had sliders on the horse and everything, trying to get them stopped, but dang horse don't know how to back up. Now, certain ethnic group teach your damn horses to back. You know, we've had quite a few charl horses come through here, and they would stop on a dime, but damn, they didn't know how to back. Like right there, this horse, there's no back to him at all. There. And I guarantee if they took time to teach this horse how to back up first and then teach it to stop, they wouldn't have had to use the rigging what they were using and get this horse to sit underneath them.
Ugh.
Plus, the darn horse is only a 2-year-old. He shouldn't be doing hard slides at this point. That's why I don't like the fraternities and quarter horse fraternities and all them on the reining end. I mean, people don't realize that these horses, to get them to do all that stuff as a 2-year-old, they're starting them out as a 18, 16-month-old. I mean, there was one top trainer, and he made a statement to somebody, he didn't care. Because he said at one point, they're either going to be breeding, having babies, or making babies. So he didn't give a damn darn if the horses were lame or not. Now, this is a guy who's supposed to be setting an example in the horse world, but not saying crap like that, because what happens is, nice horses, their minds are bloated, or their bodies bloated, and they come to places like FalconRidge. This nice. Yeah, no. This horse is really weak on the hind end. I'm not pushing him. I'm just test riding him. I'm not even going to ask for a canter on him because he's going to need adjustment. I can really tell by riding him. So what I'll do after he gets adjustment, get that hind built up right. You know, just some walking, trotting, no rollbacks, no hard stops. Just get him moving again. And let him know he can move out. He's nice. Both these two horses, I'm going to say this, but Nikki did good picking them up at auction because they're nice horses. And I really like the key thing is their temperament because, like I said, they're both colts and they're real quiet. And they both was like this from the day we got them.
And I was bidding against the killer dealer.
Huh?
And I was bidding against the killer dealer.
So she basically saved these two young horses from going to Mexico to slaughter. Because that's where they would have been heading. So there's just 2 more horses here at FalconRidge. So as I always say, be true to the horse. They'll be true to you. And people, don't sore horses back like this one, or this crap. I mean, there's too many better ways to teach a horse to stop and back. And make sure your equipment fits the horses properly. Don't use them cheap pads. You know, spend $100 or so, or $60. You know, for these. I like my heavy wool pads. You see me use all the time. And don't buy the cheap saddles. People, you know, keep going. I've seen so many times people go through they'll keep buying cheap saddles, and by the time they add all their money up, they could have bought a good one. Anyway, with that said, be true to the horse, and they'll be true to you, and be true to yourself. My kids and special people out there will stay like KNA, and God bless and take care.